December is finally here, and I really like this month in general. I find it to be the one month of the year that I really intentionally try and slow down, try and use some days off, and just relax. That hasn't happened this year. It's so funny because sometimes the holidays hit perfectly, and sometimes they are very, very stressful. Sometimes they're super hard. Spending time with family can be both fun and then taxing all in the same bit. And then oftentimes this portion of the year comes with just a lot of catch up. Like for me, I mentioned, like normally this is when I get to slow down. It hasn't been that at all. It's just been go, 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 go. And I am kind of exhausted going into this December. And I want to talk today about a few things. The power of small yet good things and how they accumulate. Using this month as a bit of a permission slip to slow down and maybe remove some of that productivity pressure that can happen. So I don't get the same free time that I did when I was younger. When I think back to being a kid, the holidays were just pretty much always fun because you didn't really have much to stress about. You didn't have a ton on your plate. The older you get, that plate just gets bigger and bigger. But that doesn't mean you can't find enjoyment just in smaller little pockets. I think I've mentioned this before. The two main times that I game throughout the day is really early in the morning. I get up early, have a cup of coffee, and while I'm drinking the coffee, I usually play about 20 or 30 minutes, and that's typically where all the footage that you see for this channel comes from. And then I will sometimes play in the evening, but usually evening time is when I'm working on YouTube videos and editing this kind of stuff. But just that ability to sit down with a game, even if it's for 15 or 20 minutes, with a nice warm cup of something is so good. It may not be a long session, but like I've been playing Mad Max lately and super sick game. It was $3 on this recent Steam sale. Highly recommend it coming into the winter Steam sale. You can go liberate an outpost. It's kind of an open worldy game and you just do the normal things. Your map is a big checklist. You go make a little bit of progress, accumulate some gear, level up your car. And for whatever reason, that 15, 20 minutes in the morning, even though that's all I get, it's super satisfying. And I think mainly because I'm taking stock of that moment and being appreciative of it. You don't have to have a 2-hour session for it to be as fulfilling as like a well-appreciated 15-minute session. Maybe that's a good walk outside where some fresh air hits your lungs. Maybe it's nostalgia from booting up one of your favorite old games or watching an old movie. I saw the 60s Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer the other day, and that was like all warm and fuzzy and brought back all these memories when I was a kid. The point is, this next month, it's hard for a lot of people, and I recognize that. But if you can, when you look for a few little pockets in the day, even if you don't have a bunch of time, notice those good moments, because when you do, even though they may seem timely, they can accumulate, and that can change the entire like emotional baseline without you really realizing it. Okay, now shifting into, if you can, like slowing down this month before the new year arrives. You got to do whatever you got to do. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying for me, I like to try and take December slow that way I can go into January, hopefully recharged, refreshed, and ready to hit the ground running. And this month in general is typically a good month where you don't have to start a new routine. You can breathe. You can also feel proud of making it through the year. Something that I really love to do is just, especially like New Year's Eve, I try and think back through the whole year, month by month, right? What happened? How was it? What did we do? What did we accomplish? What were the bads? What were the goods? What do I want to do differently? I kind of use this whole month actually to think about that. So 2025, in a lot of ways, was a fantastic, awesome year. In a lot of ways, it was freaking hard. This was one of the hardest in memory, probably since, 2020, I would say. And I am looking forward to hopefully 2026, maybe making a shift. But regardless, it doesn't matter. Like, life is going to throw at you what it's going to throw at you. And the more that you can like pad yourself up, recharge when you can, keep that emotional baseline strong, if possible, hopefully that can help weather some of those storms. It's okay to not be productive every single moment of the day. You don't have to earn your rest. You don't have to justify it. A moment of peace can be more restorative than a big to-do list victory. And I've been talking about this a little bit. I'm going to probably be talking about it a bunch in videos over the next 6 months, I'm going to guess. Gaming doesn't have to be efficient. You don't have to optimize everything to enjoy it. I've been pretty motivated on beating a bunch of games in my backlog. I don't think I've been forcing myself to play anything I haven't liked, but I definitely have stayed in this zone of like must beat game, must see credits, must talk about it in that way. And I'm kind of relinquishing some of that. I'm just playing a bunch of things right now because they're fun, right? Enjoying it for the sake of enjoying it, not for hitting credits. I recognize like knocking out a big story game feels incredible, but I have been kind of a to-do list gamer in the last year and a half. And right now I'm just listening to myself and ready to do it differently. And it is kind of changing it. 15 minutes in Stardew Valley might be just as satisfying as an hour and a half in Final Fantasy 16 or something, if not more. If you're matching what you're playing to like how you feel in the moment and it's like totally knocking the feelings test out of the ballpark, then you could play for 10 minutes. You could play for 5 minutes and it could still be like, oh, great. That was refreshing. That was fun. That met me where I was at. So, December, the holidays. In a lot of ways, just like with gaming, you can't force joy. And I try a lot. I try to pick games and circumstances and things where I try and build opportunities for those mountaintop, amazing gaming experiences. Like we're all kind of chasing, I think, in this hobby that you probably have a few like Mount Everest games that were just the most fun, most amazing eras ever that keep you chasing them. I think back to like Ocarina of Time. I am still chasing the feeling that I had when I was a kid, seeing and playing OOT for the very first time. Nothing wrong with that, but you cannot force it to happen. And I feel like the holidays can be seen very similarly. And I have high hopes. I want it to be awesome. I want it to be perfect. I want it to be fun and time with family and friends and all this stuff. But inevitably, there's going to be hardships that come with it. There's going to be challenges that come with it. Like emotionally, I am super not into it this year. I mentioned there was loss this year, and it makes the holidays that much harder when you get around some of that stuff and you're thinking about it. And it's like, just don't pressure yourself if you can. Just take a moment, just chill out and relax. This is that month. This is that opportunity. This is like a good chance to just pull back on the gas a little bit. Drop down below the speed limit, I guess, and let the engine breathe. Thanks very much for watching. I hope everybody has a great start to your week. We'll do the 1-year anniversary dual commentary later this week. There'll be another evening in quite soon. I appreciate all of you so much. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye-bye.